Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is another portfolio update video. I know I haven't made one in a while. I was pretty busy the last couple of weeks. We are also going to be talking a little bit about GME or GameStop and the fiasco that ensued. It's going to be pretty honest on my part, and I'm not going to sugarcoat a lot of things. So I expect this video to actually do poorly because a lot of people expect when someone's talking about GME to talk about Wall Street bets in a positive light, and I'm not really going to be doing that. So let's go ahead and jump into the video. Before we talk about Wall Street bets in a negative light, we're going to be seeing what Wall Street bets is. So if you are not familiar, Wall Street bets is a subreddit in a website called Reddit, and there are traders, or at least they call themselves traders, that see positions that they deem to be worth more, and they try to get other people on the same subreddit to invest in it, and their philosophy is that they are going to be winning together, essentially. Now, the great part of this subreddit is that they do get pretty lucky sometimes, and with that luck, they manage to get a lot of money. Although, to tell you the truth, it seems like a lot of people, when they do get lucky, they get really greedy and they wind up losing a lot of the money that they would have made if they just sold, because they held, and eventually the momentum stopped and they wind up losing money. In fact, this is such a common occurrence that a lot of people in the subreddit make fun of these other people that lose money, and they have different tags for these posts, and they call them loss porn. And to tell you the truth, it's also kind of funny to see, because you have someone who gets really lucky, gets greedy, and winds up losing it. And it really does teach you, it humbles you, seeing these people risk a lot of money and even take out loans or borrow money from brokers. And even though they technically do win because their positions go up, eventually they just wind up losing money because of their greed. All right, now that we got that out of the way, we can talk a little bit more about why I feel strongly that people who talked about Wall Street bets in a positive light were either a little bit uninformed or kind of jumped the gun a little bit and essentially backed a loser and got a lot of people's hopes up for really no reason. It is no surprise at this point that everyone knows about GME, GameStop, or are even familiar to some degree what happened a couple weeks ago. There were many YouTube influencers that were peddling Wall Street bets as this great beacon of hope for the middle class and even the lower middle class, etc., saying that these people were children around the 2008 era where the banks got bailed out or some BS, and that these people were angry, still remember how the hedge funds were bailed out and how their families were not, and are now getting revenge on the billionaires. A lot of people called it Occupy Wall Street 2.0, and obviously now we know that that is not the case. When all these influencers were trying really hard to make videos showing Wall Street bets in a positive light, it really pissed me off, because I know Wall Street bets. I have been in that forum for a year and a half, almost 2 years, and what I see from that are people that are trying to get rich, yes, and good for them. I hope more people become rich, become millionaires. However, it's in the name. These people are betting. They are not investors. These people are not, for the most part, educated on the market, besides reading a couple articles from some randos on the internet about a company that they like, and going off that intel and trying to make trades to make money as quickly as possible. So when I saw these influencers calling these people heroes and beacons of hope, it just didn't click for me, because I know these people are just degenerate gamblers that are trying to make a quick buck. Even if they do themselves, I have seen some posts, even if they themselves are claiming that they are the heroes, which I'll put some screenshots here, these posts really tipped me off, because knowing the subreddit, you get the feel for the kind of people that are lurking or that post, that engage in that subreddit. And now all of a sudden seeing these people being very altruistic in a forum where they literally are trying to become millionaires was a little bit off. After GameStop started losing most of its profit that we saw. It did go up to about $400, and now it's sitting around 60 to 100. I'm not quite sure. There were other posts now making fun of the people that held on to GameStop, even though if you believe the YouTube influencers, the Twitter influencers, the whole point was to hold on to your positions to make Wall Street pay. But now we're finding out that, oh, lo and behold, you guys got screwed. The people on a subreddit called Wall Street Bets just wanted to make money. They were not trying to make a point of anything. They wanted to make a profit. They wanted to become rich, and they were using other people's emotions to manipulate the stock market, which we also saw from the other side where Robinhood and other brokerages were manipulating the market as well, because the hedge funds also manipulate the market. We're losing a game where of manipulation. It's just three entities. We have Wall Street Bets, we have the brokers, and then we have the hedge funds that are trying to manipulate the market, trying to win. And then people on Twitter and YouTube trying to feed the Wall Street Bets, because I firmly believe they also are trying to make money off that. We have a guy called, I think his name is Dave Portnoy. I'll put a picture of him. He seems like a nice person. From what I understand, he is donating to people who have a small business that has been losing money during the pandemic. I love that. However, he was also trying to ride the wave. I believe he put $2 million into GME, and he went on some show claiming that he put some note on his dartboard saying that it doesn't matter if he loses all the money, if he loses the $2 million that he invested in GME, that he's sending a message to Wall Street. And guess what happened when Wall Street won, or when GME started to dip down? He backed down, because again, these people are trying to make money. That's the whole point of investing. There is no trying to make a point in investing. You are trying to make money, otherwise you're doing investing wrong. And finally, what really pissed me off and why I'm making this video, these same influencers on Twitter, YouTube, etc., were claiming that the people that are investing in GME through Wall Street Bets, that they are only putting in a couple $100 here and there. Maybe they're putting their stimulus check that they don't need and are just trying to flip off Wall Street, the billionaires, etc. And even if they lose, nothing's going to happen, because they are smart. They took precautions and are only investing what they can afford to lose. And of course, we know that's not true. And the fact that these influencers were clueless and reckless with their assumption, and now we're seeing posts of people contemplating bad things because they lost a lot of money, because they lost their savings. I just don't like that. Ending this saga of GameStop on a positive note, we did see some people that were donating their earnings to good causes, and it really did make me think about what I can do now to help other people, since I am in a position of my life where I am relatively happy and successful. I need to find ways to help out other people, and I personally don't know how, but this person does give me an idea of how a small donation to a children's hospital, donating a game system here and there, can at least help out. All right, moving on to my portfolio updates. As you can see here, it is my best week over week gain ever, after a huge loss last week, which was also my biggest loss week over week ever. Due to the GME uncertainty, or volatility, I guess I should say, a lot of stocks were not doing too good that week, and it allowed me to take the opportunity to buy some stock at a lower value. And that's why on the second week, February 1st through February 8th, I made close to $4,000. I also contributed quite a bit in the past 2 weeks to my Vanguard and my 401k, which I'm gonna start to increase more and more as the year goes on. Finally, we can see that week over week, my weekly returns are $810 for the past 5 or so weeks of the year that we've had so far. I am also 27% of the way towards my 2021 return goal, which is $15,000 of returns in the market between all of my accounts, which is great. Hopefully I can hit that early and continue to get more and more money as the year goes on. Finally, I am sitting at $65,000 total in my portfolio, close to $70,000, almost there, and hopefully $100,000 is just around the corner. Thank you for sticking by through the whole video and watching the whole thing. Make sure you leave a like, comment about GME, what your thoughts about the whole GME thing was. Do you think it was good? Do you think it was bad? I think there was some good. We saw some Wall Street freak out, which was really nice to see. We saw a billionaire cry on television. Amazing stuff. However, there was a lot of manipulation and people that were misinformed, that were trying to peddle Wall Street bets as heroes, which, let's be honest, they're not. Make sure you subscribe as well to keep watching my videos. See ya.